All right, we're going to call this meeting to order of the Atascosa County Commissioners Court. It is a regular meeting taking place in County Courtroom, Suite 203. It's August 23rd, 2021, 8:59 a.m. Please rise for the prayer and pledge of allegiance. Lord, we just always say the same thing. We ask you, Lord, to give us wisdom, to give us the right divine understanding, to put your hand on us, this court, so we can make the right decisions for you, that we can be what you want us to be in public service for the people that live in Atascosa County. And Lord, I ask a special prayer for my cousin who is in some sort of medical problem. We don't know what yet, but I ask you to stay with him and hold him in your hand and keep him safe. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just so, that's because Mr. Penny just told me they dispatched an ambulance to Pat Hurley Sr.'s house just now, so imagine, keep us updated. Number 3 is public comments. And do we have anybody that's filled out a form that wishes to speak at this time? Anyone can speak for up to 5 minutes. You can speak on any county subject or any agenda item. There being none, we're going to move on to number 4. Don Penny, we put this back on the agenda because of the condition of COVID, so we're going to ask you to give us a report on what's going on.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Good morning. Over the last couple of weeks, the state has not been giving us numbers like they used to. So I talked to Colin Davis, who's our representative, and he told me what sites that I need to go to and get the report. As of August 21st at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the state has what we call 22 service areas. They're divided into groups throughout the whole state. We are in service area P, and we have 28 counties in our service area. Population of that service area is 2.9 million. As of the 21st, there was 1,403 people that are in the hospital with COVID in this service area. 1,403.
1,403 in the hospital.
In the hospital.
Okay.
That percentage is 20.43% of all people going to the hospital are COVID positive and have been admitted. Now, that doesn't mean that the 20.43 is the ones that have been admitted. Some people have gone home. They went and they got tested. They didn't meet criteria to be admitted. But 20.3 of the people that went to the hospital have been admitted to the hospital. Back in the day, that number was considered for the mask mandate. We had to have it under 10. At this time, we're sitting at 20.43 throughout the region, not here. I do not have numbers for Methodist South. I wasn't able to contact them and get actual numbers from them.
Mr. Penny?
Yes.
I looked at the hospital report Friday, and the intensive care in Methodist South is full. And I don't know, and their beds are about 80% to 85%, I think, if I remember correctly. But they are sending patients. They did designate Methodist South as a location to treat COVID out of, I think, 3 hospitals in the Methodist system. So they are sending patients here from San Antonio.
Yes, I am aware that they are sending patients from Eagle Pass, El Paso. They are coming over here.
And the last thing I'll say is that the state site on Friday showed us to have around 180 active positives in the county, which a year ago we considered 20 to be horrible.
Right. My numbers show at Atascosa County, the people here, well, where'd my number go? I had a number of 208.
It's fluctuating every day.
Yes, it
by-
fluctuates
It's
every day.
fluctuating every day by 50 up and down.
Yes,
And we don't know, you know how the funky way that they keep track of the numbers up there, so we can't tell you that
Exactly.
any day is exactly accurate, but if you look at and I think San Antonio does the right thing, they look at a running average.
Correct.
And I think that's a better way to look at it.
currently in our region, we have 6,866 beds in our region. Right now, their available beds are 620 throughout all the hospitals in our region. There's
How
only
many total
620
hospital?
beds.
How many beds total?
620 available out of 6,866.
And that's out of the region, right?
That's out of the region. 98 ICU beds are available. And there's a total of 583 ventilators available if needed. Statewide, 66.53% of the people have been vaccinated. 2.8 million doses have been administered. 13.2 million people have been fully vaccinated. That's through the state. Atascosa County, total tests, we've given 74,931 tests. People with the first dose of vaccine has been 2,300, or 2,324. Those are the people that have had the first dose. People in Atascosa County fully vaccinated is 18,624. Right now, the total percent of children 12 and up is 55.64. They've had their first dose.
Good.
Fully
That's good.
vaccinated is 44.62%.
That's good.
People 65 years and older, 74.91 have had their first dose, and total fully vaccinated is 65.47. Currently at this time, our EMS people are running 6 to 8 calls a day for COVID positive patients. That doesn't mean that we're admitting them. Some of them we are doing a criteria and they can remain at home, but others that we're taking in, the majority of them are getting admitted and transported out. Basically, the state, like I said, 28 million doses have been administered throughout the state, and 13.2 of those have been fully vaccinated throughout the state. In Atascosa County, I got 23,000 had their first dose and 18,000 have had the complete full dose. Other than that, our PPE storage is doing well. We don't have any problems with that. We don't have any shortages there. And we're just trucking right along with it. My people are, maintaining their proper PPE and everything on our trucks with all our patients. We're using the respirators, the 3M respirators, and my people are doing good. We haven't had any people since the recent outbreak that have come down with COVID. Respiratory stuff is going around right now, sinuses and everything, but they are not COVID positive. Other than that, we're rolling.
I'd like to add to what you're saying, that we haven't made a public announcement on it yet, but we're getting very close to the final details, and once we do, we're gonna get all kinds of questions, so the only reason we haven't made a public announcement, but Texas Department of Emergency Management has agreed, and the Texas State Guard has agreed with their medical unit to put on a vaccine clinic. It'd be a drive-through, and we're gonna, and there are a number of things that have to be done. Roger has to get the city of Jordan to close the street in front of the old jail, and then we don't know what, the big questions we're gonna get is, well, which vaccine is it? We don't know.
Correct.
They told us they're gonna get whatever they can get, and we asked them to try to do Moderna, since that's been what's generally been administered in our county, but I understand HEB is doing Pfizer now, so it's all over the place. I asked them to get Moderna if they could. This is September 3rd. We'll start at 9 a.m. and we will position people headed west on Broadway. We'll probably turn them up, park people on the side up Campbell, or we may run it down Broadway. I don't know yet. It really is immaterial. However Roger wants to do it, I just let him decide. And then they will have to pull in, we'll use that empty lot that we sold, and let them park there for their 15-minute wait, and then they can go. And we have no information on boosters. They say they're not gonna be available till the
September
third week in
20th.
September.
Yes.
So my intention is that if we get some turnout, I think there's new interest in vaccination since, you know, we did really good out at the Strawberry Festival grounds and then just quit. And, but I think there's new interest in it. And then, and as long as we can get Tatum and Texas Guard to do this for us, I'll ask them to do it every Friday if we can, if people will turn out. And if not, we'll do it every couple of weeks or when they can. And then whenever boosters become available, we'll research that and see if we can include that, because I think we will have really all of you mentioned the percentages of the people 65 and up is high. Those people will be coming back for boosters, and
Yes.
most of them. And so if we can do that in this format, we'll do the same thing. It'll be all up to approval by Texas Department of Emergency Management. And in terms of getting us the materials and the Texas Guard to do the labor. It's their medical unit. They'll give the shots, they'll do
Yes.
the bookkeeping and so forth.
One of the emails I received, and I think I forwarded to you, the state is looking at maybe around September 20th, starting the booster shots. They haven't put an exact date. They
I think
just
we
said
can use
maybe
this
around-
mechanism to help with that. If this program, if we can get turnout, if people
Yeah.
will turn out. But I think
I
there's
think they
there's a
will.
new interest in it. There's an interest in it for young people. I've been begging my daughter to get my granddaughter vaccinated for 6 months, and she is too nice to her daughter. She let her decide when, and she finally did it. But not soon enough for it to be effective for school starting, so, you know, it's a frustrated grandfather. But she is getting hers, and I certainly hope all the other school children are
I
too.
think people are kind of getting the knowledge now of the second wave that, hey, maybe I should have got the shot. The shot isn't intended to not get you, you know, keep you from getting it. It's from keeping you from getting the death side of it, the more extreme side of it. There have been a few breakthroughs that, you know, we had seen with one of our colleagues, that I think people are kind of waking up and being aware now that, okay, things are safe, but however, this variant's coming through, so I better get protected, because people that are getting a variant that haven't had the shot are getting, you know, they're the majority of the people that are in the hospital, the ones that are unvaccinated.
Unvaccinated, yeah.
Yes.
But there are breakthrough possibilities.
Yes.
And we've had those, but generally, except for our county auditor who got really ill.
Yes.
But she has tremendous amount of underlying, I'm not
Correct.
going to tell you what they are, but she's told that to me, that not to overdo the fact that she's had the shots and she got so ill because she has serious underlying medical situations.
Yes.
They're not life-threatening, but they're just the problem she has.
Just adds to it.
And but other than that, just about everybody I've talked to or heard about that's been vaccinated that had a 2 or 3 day issue and it was over, kind of like getting the shot.
Yes, sir.
And that's a good thing. So anyway, I wanted to make the announcement for everybody that we are targeting September 3rd, unless something changes, and we'll keep everybody informed on it. I think it's critical that we make it available to those that will get the shot, that it be available to them. And when my daughter, and I'm only going on what I have personal knowledge of, when my daughter took my granddaughter to HEB to get her shot, she said there was a huge line. So that should tell us something.
Yes, there is. I've been to HEB and there's quite a people standing there waiting to get a shot.
Yeah. So I think it's time that we kind of try to roll something back out and see if their demand is there. And if it is, then I'll keep pushing it as long as I can to keep having it.
And
Or we'll figure out another way to have it through your department, because you're authorized to order
yes,
the medicine, but you have other things to do, as you just explained. And I'm trying to keep that off of your plate. And I also want to thank you. There is nobody, except maybe emergency room people, that are more rolling out in harm's way than your people right now. And I thank you for it.
my people.
We
appreciate
thank you
it.
for it.
The test numbers that we have now, we can't say are completely 100% accurate, because now you can buy over-the-counter tests. So are those people that buy an over-the-counter test, are they reporting to the state, or they just said, oh, I'm COVID positive, I'll stay at home? So those numbers may have some big variance in them. I know plenty of people that have taken the over-the-counter test and they're positive, and I doubt very seriously they reported it to the state. So those numbers are probably inaccurate on the total tests given out for this year.
Okay, any questions?
Yeah, I had a comment, or question and a comment. You said the population of the region we're in is 2.9 million, is that correct?
Yes. In
Okay,
Atascosa County, we're sitting at 51,000.
51,000.
Yes.
I just want to point out, not to diminish the seriousness of this, but the 1,403 cases represents 0.03% of the population. The Atascosa numbers are between 0.3 and 0.5%. Not percent, 0.3 and 0.5.
And remember, that number that I gave you, that
Yeah.
is the number of people that have been admitted
Yes,
to the
sir.
hospital for that period. Doesn't give me the total number that are positive, it
Right.
gives me the number that are admitted.
But the number positive for Atascosa County that you gave, I don't know what it
It's
is.
283 is the
Yes.
last one I seen.
Between 0.3 and 0.5% of our population. I just want to point that out.
And there's a lot of people that are positive that aren't reporting. I mean, we go into houses and, oh, by the way, I'm COVID positive, you know, it's like, oh, thanks for letting us know this, you know, before we get
Yeah.
there.
Well, to look at the total population, you'd want to look at the full 7,000 who have caught it, had this since it began,
Yes.
as a percentage
Yeah.
of population.
Mhm.
To be, I think, a more statistical average, but your point's well made, Commissioner.
Yes.
I'm not trying to diffuse it, but,
No,
No, I
the
just heard a
the
really
numbers-
disturbing number of 24%.
no.
Yeah, correct,
And-
correct. I'm with you, and I understand the numbers. You've always been a number man with me on that, and.
Yep.
No, in
and
our
I can-
county, it's more like 12%, 10 to 12%.
All right.
All
Any
right,
other
well,
questions, statements?
anything else,
No, sir.
Commissioners? All right, we'll conclude number 4, move forward. Number 5, Don Penny, discuss and take appropriate action concerning the purchase of a new ambulance to replace older unit, new 2022 Ford F-550 4x2 Trauma Hawk Type 1 for $234,130. No trade-in from SERVS LLC, funding from American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, see attached. I do want to note that we would not let EMS order the ambulance they wanted in this year because the budget was so difficult. And we're facing a difficult budget again, and we're trying to find money for raises for everyone. So, and this will be a big help to us not to have to put this in our budget. So we'll take this out of the American Rescue Act funds.
Move approval.
Motion by Commissioner Knowlton.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Riley. Discussion, would you like to explain?
This ambulance here is gonna complete my new ambulance rounds for all my units. Starting, I wouldn't even say next year. My Poteet unit is my oldest of the new units, and we're gonna start remounting them probably in 2 or 3 years. So I won't need to purchase a new ambulance for 2 or 3 years. And when we remount, they told me the price of remount's gonna be about $100,000. And what I mean by remount is we'll take the box off of the chassis that we have, and we'll put a new chassis underneath of it. Right now, my trucks are less than 100,000 miles on them, so they still have plenty of life in them. They're still in real good condition. So this would be the last of my new ambulances that I need to purchase for a while.
Total new ambulance. The future, you can buy just the
Just the chassis.
just the frame and the cab.
Right, and they'll remount them.
And even down the road, you can have those, what'd you call it?
Remount?
The
box?
The box, refurbished.
Yes,
if
what they do on the
necessary.
remount is they'll go through and refurbish it right now and fix anything that's broken or anything in it. But all my units, my guys have been keeping up with them real good.
They probably don't need refurbishing, but if something's
No.
broken or something needs to be
Correct.
fixed, there are people that will do that.
Correct.
Yeah.
They'll go through and check all the lighting system and everything in them, and I've had all my units, you know, regular PM systems on them. So we're keeping good care of them, and not letting them get destroyed.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any questions? Discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. Thank you. Mr. Penny. 6, discuss and take appropriate action concerning the purchase of a new APX 8500 UHF radio for new ambulance from Motorola Advanced Communications for the amount of $5,713.71, funding from American Rescue Act of 2021. See attached. Mr. Penny.
This here, my radios in my truck, they're all getting old. When we had the meeting with Motorola, I believe last year or the year before, you know, the gentleman stated that my radios were getting old and out of date. This here, if I'm getting a new ambulance, I would love to get a brand new radio put in it. Communication is important between the hospitals, and this radio here will allow me to buy one radio for that ambulance instead of having to buy 2 different radios. One for communication with dispatch and the other communication for the hospital. This radio here, we can combine it all in one, so I'd only have to purchase one radio port. We'll put dual heads in it, one in the front and one in the back, so the driver and the medic in the back can have access to them. Like I said, my radios are getting out of date, and they're still usable, but they're getting out of date, and I've had Wayne come over and had to fix quite a few of
This
these.
is just one,
This is just one radio.
but it sounds like we need more.
I need a total of 7. I got a brand new radio last year. I got a brand new radio for this one, and I was gonna hit you up later on for 5 more.
Yeah, better be later on.
While we have America Rescue Act funds, we might consider buying more if you need them while we've got that money, and take advantage of it.
Okay?
It'll be up to commissioners, but I think maybe that might be a good idea.
Okay,
If you
it would
say
be
your
for-
radios are getting old, you might
Yeah.
identify the ones that you need replaced and come back to us with it.
Okay. That I
My
can do.
suggestion.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Gillespie, second by Commissioner Knowlton. Discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Penny.
Thank you, gentlemen. Be safe. And Judge, I'll keep you updated.
Thank you. You too. Number 7, discuss and take appropriate action to approve the appointment of election workers for a 2-year term beginning September 1st, 2021 to September 31st, 2023. So we have the list here. I see. Okay.
Yeah, there's 2 sets.
Yeah. Okay. I'd like to look over it for a minute before we vote on it.
I have a comment. On the Republican side, there may be one that might not be able to serve if her father-in-law chooses to run.
Father-in-law's what?
Chooses to run for office. It's precinct 12.
I think the correction might need to be made on the actual agenda item. September doesn't have 31st. It might be August 31st,
Okay.
because that's a 2-year agreement.
Well, if we appoint her,
No, it's fine.
I think
It's just-
I think she's fine for November.
It is
but
fine
She
for
may have
her.
to either recuse herself or
Remove herself.
yeah, just remove them
Yeah.
for the election next year. It's a good point.
September 30th, 2023. Might be August 31st, yeah. I move approval with correction to the date,
What is the correction to the date?
August 31st versus September 31st.
Okay. Through September.
On the agenda
On the
line,
agenda item, it says August,
Oh,
September
oh,
31st.
oh,
you said August the 31st?
That would really be August,
August 31st.
30th, right?
August 31st,
There are 31 days in August.
yeah.
I don't know, I have to check calendar and see. Quit laughing. Ms. Hilberg's the Democratic County Chair. You have standing here in this issue. Do you have anything you wish to say to this?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
I just want to know if you had anything you wanted to add to it. You have standing on the issue in here. Okay. Okay, have a motion and a second?
I'll second. He
With a
motioned.
change in
I'll second.
date to August 31st, 2023 on the agenda item September 1 to August 30, 2021 to August 31st, 2023. So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. 8, Daniela Martinez.
May I ask who seconded that?
I did.
You motioned and.
No.
Oh, you made the
Yeah.
motion.
I'm sorry, I usually repeat it. I guess I didn't.
I got it.
Got it. Ms. Martinez,
Morning.
would you like me to read these all at the same time, since they seem to be, all the information seems to be the same, but the name?
Yes, sir. Other than the first one is an existing employee, but
The first
everything
one
else
is
is the
what?
same.
Existing?
Yes,
Okay. So I'll just read that one. Existing employee, Brittany McCracken, position entry-level juvenile supervision officer, pay rate $28,000 annually, salary budget area 039-400-562, physical drug test complete, start date 08/30-2021. Ms. Martinez?
She's currently my part-time control room tech, and she's done very, very well. She's caught on. I lost a female Friday, so she'll be replacing that spot.
So moved.
Is there any way to make that September 1st versus August 30th? Just wondering, because that's just 2 days in the month of August.
You want to make it what date?
September
I mean,
1st.
we don't have to, we can leave it, but it's for insurance purposes and stuff like that, it really, and pay, and even paying purposes. I mean, if you have to have her on the 30th, that's fine, but.
I think we did that because that starts on that Monday for them to start training. Maybe that's why we ended up putting that date, but, did we
It's up to you, I mean, it just
I don't want
is
to make it,
awkward.
I know, I don't want it. It's just
Does it-
weird how it falls on that Monday.
If you haven't started work on the 30th, we need to make it the 30th. If not, then.
Yeah, if she needs to start on the 30th, that's fine.
Because they're all set up, because they'll start training on that Monday, so I don't want to make it complicated though.
They have to prorate it, so we'll make them work harder on it.
Sorry.
So moved.
A motion by Commissioner Perez, second by Commissioner Riley. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. I'll read all three of the next ones together. New employee Carol Brandon, entry-level juvenile supervision officer. All details except drug test is pending, and it's $28,000 annually, 039-400-562. Start date 08/30/2021. And the other two are the same. Guillermo Ramos, information's the same, and Christopher Prater, information's the same. Ms. Martinez.
Yes, sir. We're still very short-staffed, so these are already in the budget, so it's not adding anybody other than replacing the ones that I've lost. So,
So are you gonna change these to 9/1 and?
No.
No, because I think she said she has.
No, she's got training started on that.
Okay, all right.
It was a training. and it's-
I'll try to watch that next time. I'm sorry.
Yes, please, but it's that close to the first of the month, if you would.
Okay.
That would be great, but
Okay.
we can work around
I think we're just looking at the Monday. Didn't even think about the date. I apologize.
it. We will work around it.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so moved.
We have motion by Commissioner Perez, second by Commissioner Riley for approval of the three that are read. Discussion, all those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. Thank you. Number 9, Daniela Martinez, discuss and take action to approve the addition of workers' compensation policy to policy 17.5, leave time for the Atascosa County Juvenile Detention Center personnel, and direct the county judge to sign. That I don't understand, so will you please explain it to us?
Yes, well, we normally would go off of the counties, which is very similar, but it is not in our, it wasn't in our personnel policy manual since we've had quite a few workman's comp issues. We wanted to make it in black and white in ours, so if staff needs to go in, that we also made like a timeline on how they're supposed to go about that process, because I guess there's times where they don't understand that, so we just want it to be very clear in defining what is exactly the process and how that works. We want to have it in our manual, so that way we don't run into any issues moving forward with staff who are on workman's comp.
Has Mr.
So it would just
Rowell-
be an addition to it.
Has Mr. Rowell looked at this?
It's the same, it's
what's already there in the county policy, for whatever reason, it wouldn't put in the,
Okay, so this just matches the county policy?
so it will match the
Okay.
county
Yes,
policy.
and just hasn't, like, just the timeline on how to go about the process, and it's just gonna be put in there with the 17.5.
All right, do we have a motion to approve? Motion by Commissioner Riley,
Second.
second by Commissioner Perez. Discussion, all those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. Thank you, ma'am.
I guess I just need to sign that as well, right? I mean, we'll both have to sign it.
Thank you. Number 10, Diane Gonzalez, discuss and take appropriate action to award bid to co-file for trifold project. The cost of the project is $218,138.40 to be paid in increments based on completed stages of the project. This will be funded with Archive Funds 101-400-604 and authorize Judge Hurley to sign the agreement contract contingent upon the approval by the county attorney. Would you like to explain that to us? Ma'am?
Yes, Diane went out on bids in order to take all of the, documents that are in the trifolds and to preserve them into, well, they're gonna preserve them because we are not allowed to keep them in trifolds anymore. And she went out on 3 bids, and the one she picked was Data Preservation Service, because that's the best bid. In the meantime, we found out that Data Preservation was bought out by Co-File.
Okay.
And Co-File is willing to honor the price that the bid that we got from Data Preservation. So we're able to move on that, so we can, continue with that.
So you did advertise for bids?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
And was this budgeted already?
Yes, it was budgeted for
My
this.
question.
And it's coming out of her archive funds?
And I have reviewed the contract, in fact, I have the contract right here, and approve it.
Move approval.
All right, motion by Commissioner Nolan,
Second.
second by Commissioner Gillespie, and we're striking contingent upon the approval of the county attorney, because he's already done it. Is that okay? Your motion? Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. Thank you. Sheriff Soward, discuss and take appropriate action concerning personnel. New employee Geneva A. Lopez, Corrections Officer, pay rate Tier 2, 41750-11, .11, 171 fluctuating pay program, 90-day county probation, 1-year agency probation, $150 holiday, $120 uniform, salary budget area 012442-562, physical drug test complete, start date 08/23/2021. I believe they're all the same. Is it all right with you, Major?
The first two are the same. The
Okay.
third one, I believe there needs to be a correction on the start date. It should be 9/1/2021.
Good. Well, I'll read the second one then, and we'll
Yes.
include those two together. Is that okay?
Sure.
New employee Israel V. Cuevas, position Corrections Officer, pay rate Tier 2, 41750.11, 171 fluctuating pay program, 90-day county probation, 1-year agency. It's the same as the one I just read. Everything is drug test complete, same start date of 8/23/2021. This,
So these are existing positions, nothing new about it, just replacing corrections positions.
okay.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Gillespie,
Second.
second by Commissioner Perez. Discussion, all those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. Next is new employee Andy J. Cruz, position Corrections Officer, pay rate Tier 2, 41750-11, 171 fluctuating pay period, 90-day county probation, 1-year agency probation, $150 holiday pay, $120 uniform pay. Salary budget area 012-442-562, physical drug test complete. The start date has a correction on it of 9/1/2021.
That's correct.
Same thing, replacing a
Same thing, replacing the
slot
existing
that needs
position.
filled.
Yes, sir.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Perez,
Second.
second by Commissioner Gillespie. Discussion, all those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. Thank you very much, Major. Commissioner Gillespie, discuss and take appropriate action concerning personnel. Existing employee Charles Kidd, position transfer from precinct road crew to precinct One road crew, pay rate 43638.46 annually, salary budget area 021-400-402. Physical drug test not applicable, start date 08/23/2021. Commissioner Gillespie.
Thank you, Your Honor. Charles Kidd was previously employed with Precinct 3, and he just, I had an opening, and he had discussed it with Eliseo and his foreman, and they felt it was okay. And I'm just asking for approval to switch him over from one precinct to another.
Motion by Commissioner Gillespie,
Second.
second by Commissioner Milton. Discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries.
Thank you, guys.
Well, it's good that Commissioner Perez voted for it.
That's a good thing. I was waiting for him to throw something. I was looking to see what he had he could throw at me.
Yeah.
No, I gave a good recommendation.
Yeah. Okay, number 13, Commissioner Gillespie, discuss and take appropriate action concerning placing an advertisement in the Pleasant Express newspaper for 2 consecutive weeks announcing the temporary road closure at the intersection of Peaceful Lane and Trumbull Road for water drainage pipe replacement and drainage repair project starting of 9/14/2021 through 9/16/2021. Commissioner Gillespie.
Yes, Your Honor, this was a intersection that has a culvert pipe that goes underneath the road at the intersection. There's no way I can do the construction the correct way with that intersection being open to the public. So I'm asking to run it in the newspaper for 2 weeks, give public notice, and I will have signage with dates on it as well at location to inform everybody for the act of an emergency those days of road closure.
Second.
Motion by
I'll second
Commissioner
it.
Gillespie, second by Commissioner Riley.
Sorry about that. All right, Milton.
Discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Number 14, Commissioner Milton, existing employee Lauren Delon Miller, position precinct 2 worker, CDL driver, pay rate 41600.00 annually, salary budget area 022-400-402, physical drug test not applicable, start date 08/23/2021. Commissioner Milton.
Yes, sir, this is actually a completion of probation, which occurred 180 days. Because of budgeting, I left it till now, so I'm moving him to Tier 2.
Motion by Commissioner Milton for approval.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Perez. Discussion.
Question?
On here, on this one, it says 9/1.
Oh, it says 8/23, I said 9/1, yeah.
Yes.
It is
It says
9/1.
9/1.
Okay, the correction to the motion is that the start date is 9/1.
I put on my request 9/1.
2021.
I look at that and make sure you're wrong. Thank you.
You certainly did.
I did. Robbie already fell on her sword.
Well, the date you submitted it was directly beneath it, and that's the one she picked up, which is 8/23. That's good. Okay, did we vote on this yet? Okay, motion by Commissioner Knowlton. Do we have a second? Second by Commissioner Perez. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. Effective date 9/1/2021 for Mr. Miller. Assume it's a Mr. Number 15, Commissioner Riley, discuss and take appropriate action to accept and allow the trade-in of the following 1995 Volvo water truck, VIN number 4V2P Charlie Baker Nancy E, whatever E is, 9T for Tom, R for Richard, 699034 to Rose Truck Sales for a trade-in value of $10,000. I'm gonna have to learn my radio signs, aren't I? This trade will go against the purchase of a newer water truck. Commissioner Riley.
Yes, this is trading this truck, which is a military truck that we can't get parts for any longer. On a newer truck, a Mack 91 model with a new tank and pumps and all. So, I move.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Riley, second by Commissioner Knowlton. Discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. Okay, number 16, Judge Hurley. We're moving timely pretty well. Discuss and take appropriate action concerning applying for a grant from the Economic Development Administration to pay for the extension of 30-06 to FM 476 with overpass and public road access to Wilco Peanut Company. If you can turn and look at the, it's up here. You can turn and look at this, and let me show you. I asked Walt Rackowitz pro bono to help us with a little work on this. So, phase A of the project, which led us into this, is for Wilco Peanut, and that would mean building a graded crossing here and coming down this way, here, to their property, which is right here. Okay? So, I talked to the new grant company we're working with, and they said there's an EDA grant available for upwards of $5 million. And so we discussed in detail, and I talked to Walt, Rackowitz Engineering, about the feasibility. Can you break down a little bit? This one. And, right. And so what, you can see this on your you can't really see it on here. Where's the Sparks Road?
It's gonna be up north right there.
Yeah.
Okay, right there. Yeah, see as far as, so what Mr. Rackowitz has designed is an overpass, which if we had that kind of money, that would create so much safety for people traveling on US Highway 281. The traffic is heavy there. I can't tell you the traffic count. We could probably pull it up for textile. I haven't done that. We'll probably do that for the grant application, but it's significant, and the truck traffic is significant. You probably drive it every day, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
And so we would have an overpass here where they could come straight across. Now, if they don't want, the narrowness of the road is going to require that taking this road, they have to take the overpass. So Walt created a feeder road out of the Sparsa Road where they can come up here. So if they want to get on this road here, they can come down here, turn down, and turn it this way. Or they can come here and turn right, or go across and turn left, whatever they want to do on 281. Can you come up, please? This way, or bring the map up. Okay, so then, further, please. So then right here would be a proposed bypass to connect 476, and there would have to be a bridge here at the Atascosa River. Can you bring it up some more, please? Okay, and right here, there's 476. There is a private road that runs right about to here. So the idea is, and we haven't talked to any property owners, so we don't know, and we have no intention of condemning land, or anybody starts any rumors. There's no intention of any of that. We would buy it. And we had good luck with the truck bypass that exists, Shale Road and 430. It's not 430, but whatever it is,
431.
And, I'm sorry?
431.
431, yeah. And so that would be our goal here as well. But my logic is that if we tie into this public road here, we're going to have to widen it, and we're going to give them a better road. I don't see how they wouldn't want that if I own that part. These are two different owners on each side of it. So they would be able to access 476. Of course, they have more traffic, but this would make traffic so much safer in Pleasanton. They can come up this way, and if they want to go out to the freeway, they can pick up the truck bypass and not have to have congestion here at 281. Walt's proposing a connection here where they can come up this way if they want to the Wilco access. And I think Walt did a really nice job on this. So I'd be happy to answer any questions about it.
Go scroll it back down to where you can see Esparza Road.
Down.
Right there. Okay, so if you're gonna be on 30.6 and you wanna go to Pleasanton, do you get off on Esparza Road and go south?
Get off on Esparza Road, cross and turn left.
Would the grant cover the rebuild of Esparza Road? Cause it floods,
That would be the plan.
okay,
We haven't submitted this, but
Yeah.
that would be the plan.
yeah, cause it gets a lot of water running across that road when it
Yes.
rains. It'd
Well,
have to be
drainage
built
would
up
be
a
a
lot.
factor. Walt talked about that, and we also talked about the fact that because of the drainage problems, this land along here has never been developed on this side. I don't think there's much here, is there? There's some.
Very few.
So widening it and buying the land that really is not usable,
Yeah, where that tank is at, right there where it says proposed exiting roadway upgrade, to the left more,
There's a
right
tank.
there. That stock tank catches water from north and it runs across Esparza Road right there into that tank. So that is a low spot that is, it will have to be addressed. I know that for sure.
How many miles, Judge, of road on that design?
I don't know.
You don't know?
It's a good question, which I wish I knew the answer, but I don't know. We do have a scale. But I would have to look at when you enlarge and reduce the map, I don't think the scale's gonna apply. It says 1 inch equals 600 feet. But I can get that information for you from Mr. Rockwitz. This is just a preliminary drawing to go through what the grant people asked me for. Is a resolution the Commissioners Court supported and a resolution from ACOG supported it. I have it on the next agenda for ACOG. No, they will approve it. We approve resolutions like this all the other time for counties, so the other board members owe me, so they'll always vote for theirs, so they'll vote for it.
So it looks like it's 3 miles,
Oh, yeah.
There you
13 to 15.
go. Yeah, the asphalt road is 13,869. A total, I guess, I don't know if that means as far as plus the other.
That's what I'm thinking. Total of 3 miles.
We haven't taken, by using Esparza Road, we haven't taken all the traffic off crossing 281. We have not. We still have that same situation. But if anybody was headed in the other direction anyway, the only way, if you wanted to go to Petite from here, if you were a trucker or an individual car, the trucker hauling a load or running back empty up to the sand plants would have to go up here to Strawberry Road, cut across Strawberry Road, all creating multiple traffic problems, and or come down here, and if you're not going to Petite, well, if you are, you would have to come down and go through Pleasanton.
Right.
One of those two ways. So each way creates congestion, and it's hard on our roads, and it's hard on, when you have to fix the roads, you know what it does to them. It would create safety. It would really be nicer if we could do a cutout here and a cutout here where they could come around this overpass, but I just don't think that there's enough land to be bought on these corners to do that, because you'd have to come probably widen this about 20 feet on each side, at least 15 feet on each side, maybe more, yeah, probably more. So it's not perfect, but it's making do with what we have, and it would be the extension of 30.6, and it would, I believe that if we could do this, that you would see an explosion of growth, subdivisions, businesses, all along this section from here over 476. You'd see a huge explosion of growth, I think.
Yep.
Any questions? So we're not anywhere near reaching the point of doing it, but this is just a resolution supporting the idea this is, I passed out, is the Pleasanton ETJ, and none of that is in the city limits of Pleasanton, but all of it is in the Pleasanton ETJ, which I don't think affects our plans. But if we get that to that point, we would need to just let Pleasanton know what we're doing and coordinate with them. To me, it would be the future growth of Pleasanton.
Oh, yeah.
But that's their business, not ours. Ours is just transportation, and we can facilitate the grant.
So all we're doing here is approving the application for the grant.
Correct.
Directing you to go ahead.
Correct.
Yes, there was a resolution. It's not in here.
Okay.
Well, if you approve it, I'll send you the resolution before I sign it, make sure there's no problems with it. Approve it subject to me sending you the copy of the resolution, please.
I move approval subject to the receiving the resolution.
Thank you.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Knowlton, second by Commissioner Gillespie. Discussion, more questions, anything at all? Criticism? Listen, if there's problems, we need to hear about them now. We need to fix them. Thoughts?
I don't think we'll know anything more until you get into the planning stages.
No, and it can always be changed. Once you get into the planning stages, if the engineering doesn't quite work out, I don't think it's feasible to move the overpass. I think
Straight
it
off
has,
of 30-06?
huh?
Yeah, coming straight off of 30-06?
Yeah.
Be nice, so coming off of 30-06, that you had a turning lane right off of 30-06 on the 281, and also entrance off of 281 straight on 30-06.
The other option that occurred to me, and again, we can address this further down the road, this is just a concept right here, is to bring the overpass across where, as far as the road joins 281, but the connecting to the road, we'd have to take the road to Wilco further up, but it might not be that far, and if the grant money would cover it, that might be an option, but obtaining land, making sure we could get the right of way, all that's involved. But the idea of the overpass continuing on Esparza Road and doing the overpass there is a possibility, but it's just a thought.
So in the beginning stage of this, all of the residents south of Wilco Peanut to the golf course were to be included on that road that goes to Wilco Peanut as well. Would that still, I would think, would have to be a factor on the blue proposed line to accommodate their crossings as well. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't.
Okay, so
They
right
have
here,
private crossings, each one of those.
all these private crossings right here, we're in the same predicament as Wilco Peanut. Union Pacific could close all of those driveways at any given time, and it was originally brought to us to come in up here and follow an easement and go all the way down and close all these railroad crossings. I don't know if that's been talked about when this was drawn up.
They want to close all the railroad
The
crossings?
Union Pacific, those are privately owned, and they don't have to grant them a crossing. So if Wilco was to get closed, they could potentially close all the residents also. And when Warnkins first came to us, that was a proposal that they had brought in as well. We could go from 30-06 down, and it would feed Wilco Peanut plus the other residential areas. Mr. Hayden has a house. I think there's 3 or 4 houses in there, I know, that are private crossings.
They would have to go around the backside of it because they don't want traffic going through their yard, I don't think, would they?
We'll try to, no, they wouldn't. We'll try to clarify this when we talk to the Union Pacific. My understanding is the real concern is the heavy truck traffic at Wilco being a danger to their train access. And I've never heard a concern about light traffic to the homes where they have a private crossing.
Yeah, talk with or we can, Commissioner Riley's, that's his precinct, he can get with the Warnkins, but I know that that was a concern of theirs as well.
How many private entrances are?
5.
Five.
Just something to think about when we're in the planning stages before we get too far into it. That was a concern of theirs as well.
Can't think of anything to say. We'll check into it. I think we ought to see what Union Pacific says about those crossings if they're in any jeopardy. But I want to go through TxDOT, and I sent TxDOT a letter which they naturally haven't answered, so I'm going to ask our state representative, state senator to intervene and try to get them to answer. But it's not unusual for them not to answer, but I put it in writing to them.
There may have to be another option included, like for those private entrances. If Union Pacific decides to close those private entrances down, we may have to have another option, you know, on that side of the track. But I hope not.
Well, yeah, a road could be run on the other side of the tracks, but like Commissioner Gillespie said, it could not be the same distance back as the Wilco Road because those houses, you're going to be in their front yards. I know 3 or 4 of those houses in there right on the railroad tracks. Well, they're not right on them, but they're built. These are just single-family homes, and Hayden's is way back there in the golf course with that access, and there's several homes back in there in that access. So that's important too. But those are further off the road. The ones just south of Wilco are very close to the railroad tracks, I'd say within 100 feet.
Does this show that spur there off the railroad track?
Do what?
There's a spur running just south of Wilco Peak. They have a spur where
Do we show what?
that railroad spur where they park the cars. It doesn't show that on the
A
spur.
railroad spur?
Yeah, it's not a spur, it's like where they park empty cars when they're loading peanuts and stuff.
You mean a second set of tracks?
Yeah, it's another like that comes
Yeah,
off of that.
yeah, there's one along there. Further down, it's down there by the golf course
South.
where they have a siding.
Zoom in on it.
Right.
Not a siding, it's just a second row of tracks.
Zoom in.
Yeah, it's where they take
I
those
don't know
cars
how you
off
do
when
that.
they're loading.
Keyboard.
You see
You
it
have to
there?
use a keyboard to do it.
Well, either way, we're just in the getting an application started phase, so.
I think first we need to address the issue of private crossings. I mean, I can't see them closing private crossings. There are tons of them all the way to San Antonio. Well, not really, to about Pleasant Road.
Yeah.
There are crossings.
From there north through Lemming, on north of there, there's a lot of private crossings through that area.
Well, this is just to get the ball rolling. Nothing's going to be etched in concrete yet. So anything is subject to change. Even the way the road runs up there, Walt just drew it. I think he went to the river where he thought it would be well, he kept the road down there so he could do that intersecting road north of Wilco, and then he curved it back out, and then he tried to find a spot where the bridge would be the easiest to build across the Atascosa. And so it's all everything's subject to change on there. That's just an initial plan to work off of. We have a motion and a second.
Yep.
Yes.
So all those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. Thank you very much. We'll keep you advised as we move on. Number 17, discuss and take appropriate action concerning approving contracts between Atascosa County and Enterprise Fleet Management, direct the county judge to sign. The situation on these is that this does not list the vehicles. This is a standard covering contract, and then when we list the vehicles and come up with the cost each year, then we'll have to approve that in court.
I review the contract and approve it.
So
I just
moved.
looked at it, so
Second.
we need approval. Motion by Commissioner Gillespie, second by Commissioner Knowlton. Discussion, all those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. So, number 18 is to approve any invoices and payroll. We have no live checks. And we have no payroll to approve at this time. So we have a motion to approve the bills, please.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Gillespie.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Riley. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. I didn't ask for discussion because you'd all already signed it, so I assumed you approved it. At 19, it's just a little humor, very little humor. 19, discuss, review, and take action on reports submitted. On the reports, we have not submitted by this time, and we've moved this to the second meeting of the month to give more time to get them in, as we're missing the Constable Precinct 1 report, the Sheriff's fines and fees, cash bond, drug seizure, the commissary fund, and the district clerk, and the inmate fund. So motion to approve the reports, please.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Gillespie.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Knowlton. Discussion, questions? All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. Number 20 is comments from Commissioners Court. With no action to be taken, the next regular Commissioners Court meeting will be Monday, September 13th. We will be scheduling, I'll just start with some comments. We will be scheduling one public hearing because we're not raising taxes over the no new tax rate. I'm sorry, I have a hard time saying that without smiling. Over the effective tax rate, I'm still going to call it the effective tax rate. We only have to have one hearing, and we'll be scheduling that. I don't know exactly what time or date, and then on September 13th, we'll probably approve the budget. I know everybody's worked hard on it, and we've done a lot of cutting, and actually, buying this ambulance through the American Rescue Act is going to really put us light years toward a 3% COLA raise for employees, which I really feel is important. And I appreciate that we are able to do that. So we have to ratify the tax rate first. We can do it all at the same meeting, but we have to ratify the tax rate, and then we have to ratify the budget no later than the regular meeting, the second regular meeting in September. And to ratify the tax rate, we must have 4 people present at Commissioners Court. So we can't do it with just 3, just a quorum. Just kind of restating everything we all already know. Any other comments or questions? Or not questions, comments from anyone? Announcements? Then we are concluded. We are adjourned. I thank everybody very much.